Hello, and welcome to Ink Help, your guide to all things Splatoon. We got 10 more tips today, so let's get to it. When inking a team's area, you want to go far into their base, but try not to go too far. Always think of your path as a circle. Basically, always try to connect the area you're inking to the main part that your base owns. If you go too far away, the enemy can just ink right over it, wasting your effort. Make your ink count. When starting a match in Splatoon, one of the most important areas on the map to get to is the middle. Whoever controls it has momentum throughout the entire match. So make sure this area is secured before trying to go into enemy turf. Well, for most of the game anyway. Because during the last minute of gameplay is when you want to look for a way into enemy territory. If you see one of your teammates in there, warp to them and help them out. Since most of the team is focused on the middle, you can try and get their area to score a few points before the final tally. But make sure your own area is safe because the same thing can happen to you. Rollers are scary when they're approaching you. After all, one hit from them and you're dead. So what should you do in this situation? Simply back away from them. Most of the time you'll have enough room to get away and take them out at the same time. Use that limited range against them. When fighting on Port Mackerel, you can't climb up the walls in Squid form, as there are barriers there to stop you. To get to the top, either go to the sides from where you spawn, or ink the machines that pass through and climb up to them. Considering the close range nature of this map, it's best to get any type of advantage you can. Remember the squid hop technique we talked about in the last episode? Well, there may be an even faster way to get to the front lines, along with the rest of your team. Simply leaving a trail to the middle of the stage with the ink brush for your team is vital. Not only do you run fast with this weapon out, but you leave a little trail behind you, allowing your team to get to the front lines fast. Now this can be done with the roller too, but the ink brush is much faster and the squids don't catch up as fast to you. But with the roller you do cover more area, so choose your poison wisely. Even though squid jumping is a very helpful tool, it can give you a false sense of security. Don't squid jump into the middle of a battlefield. You have a ring that will indicate the area you land in, leaving you wide open as soon as you come in. Try and aim for players that the opposing team isn't focusing on or sneaking in enemy lines. If your team is in swimming distance, just go squid form. It's much faster and safer. When playing a charger class, your secondaries are very important on how you'll play. If you want to cover some serious ground, bomb specials are the way to go. In particular, bomb raid specials. Why? Because they let you cover a lot of area at once, which is one of Charger's downfalls. This is great for covering the middle of the map or filling up a splat zone if it's captured by the enemy. You can also throw out a regular bomb to give you some time to charge up your own ink. It lets you support your team in a clutch moment, which is what the Charger is all about. Just make sure you don't get blindsided while using them. The Ink Strike is one of the most used specials in the game, and for good reason. It can cause a lot of carnage very fast. The ideal places to launch this are in the middle of a battlefield, where the opposing team is launching one to counter it, your base to clean up enemy ink, the area you're about to go to, or where the enemy is. The only time you should put it in an enemy base is during the last few seconds of gameplay. If you launch it there at any other time, it's just going to get cleaned up right away. Though, if you put this in the right area, you can use this as a form of distraction to get into the base, so get creative with it. Getting to higher ground is always important in a match, but letting your enemies get there first is a bad idea. So what can you do to stop them? If you manage to catch them in squid form climbing up, ink the very top of the area they're about to go to. This makes it so they can no longer climb up, as you have to be in inkling form in order to spray. Once the trap is set, it's yours for the taking. Well, that's all we got today, young inkling, but there is a change this time. Down below, there's a straw poll vote for what you guys want for the next episode. It can either be an episode on the roller, Splat Zones, or abilities. The one with the most votes will be in the next episode, so please put your votes in. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe for more Splatoon content and check out episode 1 if you haven't already. Anyway, see you next Turf War!